I want to take a look at the monthly British pound. The pound against 6 currencies, but the pound's running as the first. So it's kind of easy to do the analysis because the pound is the dominant, it's the first part of the pair. And obviously, the pound is killing the New Zealand dollar on the monthly. So if you're just going to come in here and just do some quick and dirty analysis, you could say, well, there's the breakout. You took out this double top. And it looks like, I think this is, I'm not sure what SGD is. I don't really trade that. Maybe that's Singapore or something. I don't know. But that looks like the next one to, that one's the next one to break out. And it kind of going to go challenge this trend line here on the monthly. This one is kind of joining the mob against this guy. Looks like the yen's going to get clobbered there. It just broke out, right? We're right at the borderline of breakout. And this looks like the one that's going to play catch up once we take out this high, which was the double bottom back here. This one has already been probably the best entry on the monthly because you had a double top became a perfect bottom. So that was premium entry for the position trader, long-term trader. This one didn't even come back to catch its breath at this top. But right now I'm in the mode of, and here was the other entry here, was this top that became the double bottom. Now I haven't turned on the bars to see if we would have got filled on any of this stuff. So now if you turn on the bars, you can see that right here, you would have got filled on this pending order down here, buy limit, just before it ripped up. And it was, you know, excluding this wick here. Now, if you had placed your order on the top of that bar there, then, you know, you took some punishment. But if you put all your orders, which you're actually going to place less orders when you trade this style of close only, like this double top that became the bottom here in the monthly, you turn that on, and when it came back to here and it went up, then it came back and it stopped everybody again. So you can always re-enter the market. I'm just going to do some more really quick. This should only take, you know, me just going off on a tangent all the time isn't helping, but this should only take you like 5 minutes to do the whole monthly analysis. And I haven't zoomed in on any chart yet, so I'm only looking back like 2 years here, but just all you can see, you know, people want to see the whole story, like they want to know the bio, but just throw this stuff on here. You can always move it later, but your first guess is your best guess trading. It's not rocket science, you know. It's really not. Just do the even if the trend line is not. This is the current trend line. Of course, you could always come back and say, "Oh, look at this. We broke the trend line there, failed break. They trapped everybody." But if horizontally speaking, this is the pivot right here. This flat. Every time you see it go flat like that, you know that's a doji of some magnitude. And that's definitely the key entry there on New Zealand. Of course, now it's about, hey, it's overdone, it's overbought, time to sell it, right? Let me just turn this back to good old simple, don't hurt your brain looking at it mode. Okay, this is the trend line of break. I don't know why that moved, but now, just throwing a couple more crude. It's trading so crude. It's just so terribly crude. Now, this could be said to be, okay, well, maybe that was the break. Going to come back to that. Well, we'll just, for now, we'll just leave it as a triangle. Okay, looks like this guy is the next one to join the mob. Now, if you had to say in terms of the breadth of the market, the way the pound is, who's next to get their ass clobbered by the pound? Well, certainly in the scary sense of the this subtle pullback here, this one looks next, and then this guy, and then this guy. This guy's already, and this guy's in the process of cutting through, and this guy already went through. So I'm already looking to sell this as it comes up. Now, it's all monthly analysis, right? This is presupposing you're going to live for the next 2 years or next 8 hours or whatever it is. Now you look at the big picture of this, it's a whole different story, you know. Wow. Now, what you thought, see, this is your framing. You're going back to 2012 here, in your mental framing here, your decision that you would make now, of course, you got all month to make the decision, I suppose. For these kind of setups are just like watching paint dry in a humid room. Actually, how about a room underwater? And so, I mean, really, but the distortion that takes place, how you frame and bracket the market in your perspective and what you see data-wise, has a big influence on whether you think, oh, this looks like I want to sell that, or I want to buy that, or maybe you're just a person that's pessimistic, you like to sell everything, or you're optimistic, you like to buy everything. Of course, presupposing you are just completely bias-free, you trade like a robot, and you don't have any kind of preconceived notion, or you haven't primed yourself for any kind of, or not to mention, if I had those Japanese clouds on every chart, you know, you'd have to go in the other room, change your mind, come back a few times, and just ask yourself, well, what have I got myself into? Even though you heard that's the most winning trading technique in the world. Well, you know, I don't know. If that was true, I guess, can't we just load the robot with Izukumusha clouds till, he hit like, I mean, just let that thing go, right? It's not going to work because the market's constantly in a state of, let's say, chaos or disorder, or it's not the way it should be. And people are always saying, at least in political things, hey, it should be different. Well, it's always changing. So it's like, which change are you going to ride? Okay, enough of that nonsense. Now, I just want to zoom out. I won't be able to zoom out on this one because I already checked, and this will not. There's not enough data on here, but I'm just going to, who trades this pair, right? Now, if I just do a zoom out here, and all I'm doing is zooming out one level, I just hit the minus key on MetaTrader, and the whole picture changes. Now what? Wow. And now if I do the blow up screen, this guy looks like this thing's screaming north, right? This guy is playing catch up. He left off of this one, but I would say this is the leader. And this guy is second. Then we have this guy, then this one, and this one is probably going to be, if it does clear this double top up here, that's going to be crazy. Now, I don't know if I can keep track of this while I zoom in to see the big picture. This is going back to 1995. Now, at this point, let's just throw in a trend line, right? And it's really crazy, right? I mean, dealing with these time frames. Now, I can take that back down, and now you look at that line, you say, well, where'd that come from, right? It's very complicated. I mean, trading's the most simple, complicated thing in the world. This trend line is way out in space, so technically speaking, of course, it's all, of course, this can't trust the Swiss franc in a way, but you can. I mean, it's the real world, right? When it fell through this floor here on the monthly, it's crazy. In 2002, wow, they just cleaned house, just people were probably like, can't believe it. Of course, I don't know how it's helping you right now or like coming into the evening session here, and I'll take a zoom in on this puppy. Now this is crazy. This thing looks ready to just go nuts. I mean, I don't know, British pound, right? I mean, come on, look at this trend line. Now this trend line coincides with the other one that I didn't even, now I drew that one, but now this one I can see the bigger picture. Not only is it a key off of this, it's a key off of that. And this is probably one of the easier pairs to trade. Canadian dollar is just a real range trader, choppy mess. But look at this pivot here. That's crazy. And look at this floor down here. Wow. I mean, look at this thing finally fill this hole. And now it looks like, wow, off to the races. Of course, this is a monthly chart, I mean, all you have to do is go to the weekly and you're like, well, wow, how many zigzags in that puppy? And look at this, look at this where it left the station. This beautiful break, that major top here. Of course, there's a story within the story, but I don't want to get sidetracked again. Because tangential thinking is definitely a liability in this market, in these situations. But if you go to, I'm just going to see if we get through these monthlies here now. Not saying these are trades or anything. I'm just saying that just in the sense of framing and perspective of what you consider to be a valid trend line break, and what and just look at these. Look at the sweeps on this thing. It's crazy. I mean, certainly for me, I'd be selling up into that on the monthly, right? This thing's crawling up this guy here. Now let's go to the New Zealand. Now this is the guy that's doing the most. Those guys stepping out in front of the pack, so to speak. And look at this void form that's been forming up here. And these markets are just going to. I'm missing my rectangle, but I'll just do a. This is the this hole here. Everything from where we're at to up there at $2.46 or something. I mean, that's a lot of pips. That's like some 4,000 pips. I don't even know. Don't trade these monthlies, but wow, crazy, huh? I mean, so this big void, and of course, all along the way there'll be contentions about where this bottom became the top, and this little baby. Now this is the bottom inside the top, and I'll just zoom in on this one. I guess I'll just finish the video on this guy. This is always a critical, beautiful setup, is the bottom inside the top. You have this top, so this would be the well, it's not really, you don't get a head or shoulders out of it, you just get a double top, but the valley of the top becomes the next pivot. And now if we just go to the weekly on this, we're gonna have to, well, I guess I'll just leave those lines there and just zoom out. I don't have my delete all stuff key, but now these now you got to kind of tighten these up, make these a little more precise now, because now that you've just entered 5 times more data points. But yeah, that's why I guess I'm always going to be trading this 4-hour crap where, look at this. This is no-brainer stuff here. You've got this. Turn on the candles. Of course, see, these don't really have. We don't have a big. It's not the best color to see the wicks on that, but in the 4-hour world here, this top. Okay, this double top on the 4-hour, and it just man, they just bring it almost back there. I mean, you just would not have got long on that. You could have always got in long on the placing buy stops above this of these peaks and just get picked up in the stream. Of course, I think the ultimate entry here would have been, there's a little baby top inside of that bottom there, and that is the apex of this triangle. We really want to get in there. And it comes back, and just before it leaves the station, I'd have to say you did get filled there, and that was about an 8-hour fill. And then you could just hang in there. You could have trailed your stop. You kind of have to give it some definitely want to be taking profits here on this, because the markets really do bounce off these things, but only momentarily, and then it's off to the races there. But it looks like it's, this is the trend line to break to the upside, and it looks like pound New Zealand leading the pack.